one of the things about my paintings is that they are basically done on site, and that's a very unusual practice these days. Most people, take photographs and go home and copy them in the studio. I haven't got any philosophical objection to that. I think it's a perfectly good way to make paintings. It's just that I don't find that a photograph gives me sufficient information to say what I want to say, and so my work is all about trying to express the feeling of actually working on site and living on site and absorbing the place. This is a folding drawing board, so it folds up to go onto my backpack, and it can be adapted to turn it into a 6-foot drawing board. This one is 4'6", and as you can see, this is scalloped out here to save weight. I think one thing that people find almost impossible to believe is that I make these large-scale paintings with this tiny paint box. I mean, what is it? It's 2.5 inches by 4 inches, maybe even less, size of a packet of 10 cigarettes. Weighs very little, packed with all the colour you need for any eventuality pretty well. I have a tent, I have a sleeping bag, I have all the stuff you need for camping. Well, that's heavy enough to start with. Then add to that a drawing board, all my painting gear, brushes, paint box, all that stuff weighs something. So you resent every ounce you have to schlep across the landscape. I must confess that I do carry more brushes than I really need, I suppose. But I always have that sneaking feeling that if I didn't have exactly the brush I needed to do a particular thing, then that would be just the moment I would need it. All my paintings have got not just the landscape painting itself, which of course is an important element, but they've also got written diaries which explain where I was painting, what it was like, who I was with, what the weather was like, how long I'd been there, and any incidents that happened on the way that were of interest. And then there are these talismans or symbolic objects that I include in my paintings to kind of tell a little more about the story of the place. I do feel a genuine inspiration in these places. They're just the sheer majesty and beauty of them and the extraordinary nature of them is enough to kind of fire my desire to do the work. I do feel I've got a bit of a mission to proselytise for wild places and say how valuable they are to us and that they shouldn't be destroyed. And so I guess it's a combination of those two things, but of the two, inspiration is the most important. You couldn't work without it.